day would not even take place without all of you. It is the grace and favor of God upon this organization. I want to thank my husband, my family, my daughter, the board members for their commitment, support, and volunteer services. It's all run by volunteer. No one gets a paycheck. But we all have big hearts and very committed to what we do. I want to also thank Julian Phillips and Barbara Phillips, and just tell you guys that their book and CD will be on sale over there if you want to catch more of that beautiful voice and hear some more of those fabulous stories about the goodness of God. And they have agreed that any product that you buy, that they will give us 10% back. So buy some books, buy some CDs. You all know how nonprofits are, right? I want to give God praise for His grace upon my mother life yesterday, because yesterday at this time we were actually in prayer because she was going to a surgery at Einstein Hospital. So I didn't have to be standing here today. So I thank God that He had His hands upon her. November is National Family Caregivers Month, as Rosalie said. And it's back in 1994 that Suzanne Mintz first brought along the idea about celebrating family caregivers. It was back in 1997 that President Clinton first signed the proclamation for National Family Caregivers Month. And each year since then, or each president since then, may it be Democratic or Republican, they all have signed proclamations in the month of November or the end of October. And you guys have a copy of that proclamation inside of the journal from President Obama. We want to continue to celebrate the event by asking you to attend our free National Family Caregivers Month reception, which will be held by COME, along with FEG, and the support of the Bronx Borough President, in the Rotunda, which is on 161st Street at the Supreme Courthouse, on November 17, from 10 to 2. I have you know that our Bronx Borough President is the only borough president that I know that actually took a stand, and this is our second year that we're actually holding a reception in recognition of National Family Caregivers Month. There are comment cards that are on the table. We would like you to complete the comment cards, and please nominate a family caregiver, a friend, a co-worker for next year's nominee. There was a rumor at the last event that, boy, COME has lots of money. Well, let me get it straight. We don't. But I can tell you what COME has. We believe in excellence. We believe that family caregivers deserve all of what we do here for you today. So that's how come we do what we do, because we love you guys. Okay, I want to recognize our past honorees who received the Leon David Simmons Award. Can you all stand, please? I want to thank you all for being here today. And I just hope and pray that you all are doing well, that your family's doing well. Thank you so much for being here today. Well, you know what, to be honest with you, we're going to do a tribute to a family caregiver. And the young lady that's going to come up, some of you who have been following me for the last 5 years, and by the way, this is our 5th year, praise God. Know that we first started out in Co-op City with AARP in their community room, and we had honored one family caregiver. And that caregiver at that time was Jacqueline Cherry. And I am honored to be blessed by her presence here today, and she's going to do a tribute to family caregivers.
I have been taking care of my dad for the past 7 years, and Diana was the one who helped me on my journey. And the journey with my dad has been a tumultuous one. It has had high times and low times, but because I knew people who can help me, it made it that much easier. And so caregivers, I know that it is not an easy job. It's a very difficult job. It takes a toll on us physically, emotionally, and sometimes mentally. And a lot of times we feel alone. But I just wanted to come by this afternoon to encourage you, to salute you, and to applaud you on your work that you are doing. It is a work of love. It is a labor of love. And so when I thought about what I would say, the only thing that could come to mind were two things that help motivate me and guide me on my journey as a caregiver, and that is found in the Bible. The fifth commandment says to honor thy mother and thy father so that thy days may be long upon the earth. And in the Bible it also says that the greatest commandment is this, that you love the Lord thy God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and that you love your neighbor as yourself. Those two scriptures are my guiding scriptures that help motivate me and keep me focused, because when we take care of our loved ones, we are showing love. We are doing exactly what God would have us to do. Whether it's our father, our mother, our sister, our brother, maybe if you're a home health aide and you're taking care of someone else, we are showing them love. So every time that you have to take off from work and go to a doctor's appointment with your loved one, you are showing love to that person. And every time that you have to give up your sleep so that you can take care and love your family member, you are showing love. And every time your family member or your loved one may say something to you that's not nice, and you hold your tongue and you don't say anything, but deep down on the inside you want to say something back, you are showing that person love. And every time you have to stand and advocate on behalf of that person and to go against all the odds and to fight for what you know that person needs, you are showing love. You are doing a work that the Lord will be pleased with. And so I just want to commend you, and I just want to congratulate you, because your labor is not in vain. Because I know because one day my dad, he has Alzheimer's, and he looked at me one day and he said, "Jackie, I'm scared." He said, "Don't leave me." And so every time, everything that I do for him, that's in the back of my mind. That my father needs me. He's dependent upon me to make sure he is taken care of, that he is treated with dignity, that he is respected, and that he gets what he needs. And that is the same thing that your loved one is dependent on you for, to make sure that you let people know that you need to treat him or her with dignity and respect, and that he or she needs whatever it is that I'm asking you for, so that he could be well or she could be well. And so, while you're doing this work, this labor of love, remember, because the last part of the commandment is to love thy neighbor as thyself, is to treat yourself with love. Take time out for yourself. I've learned 5 things on my journey, which are, make sure you take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of your loved one. Make sure you are honest about how you feel. A lot of times I kept my feelings to myself, and I didn't want to say, you know what? I feel kind of lonely, and this is kind of painful. But I found out throughout the years that it's better to be honest. So you know what? I can't do it by myself. You know what? I feel alone. I'm hurting. It's painful. So be honest and share your emotions. And don't be afraid to ask for help, because you can't do it by yourself. You need some support systems. So tell people in your family or those who are close to you that you need a little assistance. And take advantage of your resources that are available to you. There's so many resources that are available to you that can help you. And last but not least, have fun. Enjoy life. Do a little something for yourself. Because a couple of times, my dad, in his clear mind, he would say to me, "Jackie, you need to rest. Jackie, you need to slow down." And I would have to listen to that. I'd be like, wow, he's in his own state, but he has enough presence to know that maybe I'm working a little bit too hard and I need to take care of myself. So on this afternoon, I commend you. I congratulate you. I applaud you for your work. You are doing a great work. Do not grow weary in well-doing, because your labor is not in vain. The Lord God is pleased with you, and most importantly, the loved one you're taking care of is dependent upon you in everything that you do. He or she feels it, and you are enabling him or her to live just a little longer because you are showing love. So congratulations on this afternoon. God bless you.
Can we get real in here for a minute? You know, sometimes being a caregiver means that you are caring for people that you love very much. But sometimes when they're going through things, they can be kind of nasty to you. You know what I mean? And sometimes it wears on you. My wife and I were separated for 3 years. When my mother was dying of cancer, I had to care for her by myself. And my boss put me on the late shift at Channel 11. And my mother was so happy about that. And I said, why? She says, well, you can go to work at night and care for me during the day. And I did that for 6 months. So my mother was my best friend. It was a day that went by that we didn't talk on the phone. She was indeed my caregiver. When I needed help, she would always send me scripture. But she could be a little testy at times. And I remember when I took her to her oncologist for a visit, I was sitting next to her, and I was in a patient's chair. And she kept bugging me to get out of that chair. She was bugging me and bugging me and bugging me. And I said, woman, I've had enough. I'm leaving this room, and I'm not coming back until you are through with your doctor. And I stormed out. About 15 minutes passed by, and the doctor called me in. He says, I just want to let you know that your mother has about 2 weeks to live. I got in the car, and my mother came out walking very gingerly, her head was down. And she knew that I was upset with her. But what she didn't know was I felt rotten. But the ultimate caregiver gave me the wisdom to say, hey, look, I understand. And we made up. No words were said, but the Spirit took care of it.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I have the honor and the privilege of presenting the awards to the first 2 recipients. Okay, the first recipient is Deborah Drummond. And Deborah is remarkable in that she selfishly cares for both her elderly mother and aunt both at the same time. She is very supportive of them and is able to convince them to cooperate with her through her sense of humor. She is filled with God's confidence, thereby conferring onto them love and confidence. Deborah is a woman of great virtue. Deborah doesn't want to come up, so we're going to go and take the award to her. Deborah, can you stand, please? Okay, the next person is Alda Ann Lewis. And Alda is a remarkable mother and friend. Alda became disabled as a child from playing baseball where she sustained a hip fracture. In lieu of her own disability, Alda takes care of her disabled daughter and her mom. Alda, can you please come up?
Thank you very much.
Alda actually just recently had a hip surgery, so that's why Alda's going to sit down to accept her award.
My next recipient is Kirk Brown. And as it says over his name, the greatest among us is that of a servant. And if you read the information in the bio on Kirk, he's been a caregiver for a long time, and he's actually come from a family of caregivers. And basically, he took that and he gave back to those that showed him how to care for others. So at this time, we just want to call up Kirk Brown to receive his award.